those hands up and praise him home.
You see this coffee right here? That is, I don't even know how to describe it. It is so strong that if you take one turtle sip, you'll be awake for 2 weeks. It is so strong, there's not enough sugar in the world to kill the taste. I mean, I think 99.9999999% of this looks like liquid, but it's sugar. And I just put a micro drop of coffee in it, and it's still bitter.
All right.
Now, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, so
Get those hands up and praise him home.
well, on Saturdays, if the buses are running every hour, like they are today, instead of every 20 minutes, it threw my timing off. So I got up at 6 a.m. as normal, went to Planet Fitness, and took my shower and got my massage. Let's take a look around. Anyway, this Grace to the Nations church here, that's what hosting, or we're renting, I guess, for the ReformCon 25. Let's take a look at my little badge here.
Get those hands up and praise him.
But anyway, got up at 6 as normal, went to Planet Fitness. Everything seemed normal. And I was just taking my time, lollygagging. And I go out to the bus stop, and then I noticed something might be wrong. Anyway, with this, as how the buses don't run nearly as much. So I thought I could be seriously late, which would have been not so good because I would have missed James White's presentation, which, you know, every time James gets up and he does a presentation, he reminds everybody that he's not, you know, a great orator or a preacher. But every time I watch him, if it's not on Dividing Line, on his Dividing Line program, if I see him addressing a crowd, he's a great orator, a great speaker. And by the end of his stuff today, I was just in the spirit, thanking the Lord for such a wonderful, wonderful story, inspiring story. I'm not going to go into the details, but it has to do with his trip during 2017, the great 500-year anniversary of the Reformation, and the 60-minute or so speech. And by the way, I did barely make it on time, I think. He was just getting started, I think. But I'm very, very satisfied with the presentation. And it could have been a lot worse if I wouldn't have gotten here till late. So
Get those hands up, brother.
But but then, you know, it's going to be nice because Jeff Durbin is going to close everything out, and I think we'll probably get out here around 5:30, probably not later than 6. But it was worth every penny of, you know, and I got the discounted $99 entry fee here, and you know, Tucson. You know, I wanted to stay here for another week, but since I only have a month in Pima, I don't think I'm going to stay because, you know, the Spirit is kind of changing my, even as much enjoyment I think that I would get out of staying, I think I want to go directly to Pima and start getting a taste for what they're dealing with the End Abortion Now program. I mean, I've already got a couple of really good leads. And I think I mentioned yesterday, I met this guy that heads up Apologia Church in Salt Lake City. And some of you might know, I had a plane ticket to Salt Lake City for I think it was June of 2024, last year. But as things turned out, I didn't end up going. And I stayed there in Lake Dallas, but I just find it very providential that I've got a connection there in Salt Lake City now. And Salt Lake is something I want to go see. But at any rate, lots of good discussions. Looking forward to Jeff Durbin later on. But and I'm glad I got to take that snapshot with James White yesterday before he did the sweater vest thing, because today he just gets mobbed and it's hard to get any time with him. But so anyway, today I think it's going to be a shorter day. Lunch coming up with the bus situation. Yesterday I went down to Domino's because the buses were running frequently and everything was half price at Domino's. Today there's a Trader Joe's within round trip walking distance, so I'm going to do that. But Joe Boot's coming up here in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to go back inside. But let's take one more look around.
Get those hands up and pray, ma.